in. 500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: the NCDC only gave us COVID data for 1 day over the weekend. 11 confirmed cases on Saturday. 8 of those were here in Lagos. We have no data for Friday or Sunday, but continue to do all you can to avoid catching COVID. Again, you don't know how you're going to react to this disease, this virus. Try to not be one of those who gets it. Second hard fact of the day: it's the semi-finals of the I Beg to Differ debate tournament. It starts today at 4 o'clock.
The I Beg to Differ quarterfinals are over.
Including the current president of Nigeria. I've tried but failed to remove...
We witnessed 4 epic battles from 8 phenomenal debaters. Lagos, we have a tie.
The nerves got to all of them.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, please. Oh my God.
But 4 of them dug deep and got the job done.
To train one specialist in medicine, Nigeria is one of such countries to have lost up to $2 billion.
And this week, the final 4 are back. Monday,
I'm
Deborah Pamzad.
1 winner. Tuesday,
My name is Ruth Okorocha.
1 winner, 1 million naira. Join me, Sandra Ezekwesili, your moderator, my final 4 debaters, and my panel of judges, Mondays to Thursdays at 4 p.m. on Hard Facts. Catch it the next day at 5 p.m. on Wazobia Max TV, on DSTV, GoTV, Star Times, and UHF Channel 57. This tournament is brought to you by Paystack, supported by Printivo, Obiwizi.com, RLG Communications, and Just Food.
Thank you again to all our partners. I cannot wait to hear these 4 amazing students go head to head today and tomorrow. And I cannot wait for you to hear them as well. And of course, the third place match and the final will be on Thursday. Who do you think will make it? Who do you think will win? Tell us. Call in, send your messages. I always say that 1 million Lagosians cannot be wrong. So that means that your opinions are very important here. Thank you for tuning in to Hard Facts today. I have a great show for you, starting with the big weekend. Let's talk about the Federal High Court striking out the political appointees clause in the Electoral Act. Then let's talk about the EFCC arresting Willie Obiano. Then we'll talk about LCC's plan to restart tolling on Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge. And then let's talk about the Power Minister explaining the current blackout. Lagos at 4 o'clock, I Beg to Differ will take the air. Oladik Pupo Ramadan Olalekon will take the air today from 4, and he'll face Deborah Pamzat for the first semi-final. On the big hard fact, let's talk about the bus parks. Now that government has taken them out of NURTW's control, what should the next steps to ensure a better running of our bus parks? What should it be? Incidentally, on my way to work this afternoon, I saw a few people in plain clothes. They were not wearing the white and green, but they were still collecting money from the bus drivers. On my way into work, I saw that today. Have you been seeing that? We'll talk about that at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., you and I, that conversation. As usual, we'll have news updates at the top of every hour. But let's get started with today's big weekend. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, Lagos. These are your hard facts.
The big weekend.
Does the High Court's removal of the political appointees clause make sense? Will the EFCC go after more governors once their terms expire? Should LCC resume collecting tolls? It was a big weekend, Lagos. Let's try to talk about all of this. The Federal High Court in Umahia says that the political appointees clause is illegal. That's section 84 to 10 of the newly amended Electoral Act, which says, quote, no political appointees at any level shall be a voting delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election, end quote. What that means in plain English is that ministers, commissioners, heads of parastatals cannot stand in party primaries and cannot be delegates at party primaries. Now, remember, the president asked the National Assembly to delete that clause from the Electoral Act amendment after he signed it, but the answer from the Senate was nay. So how did this get to court? Nduka Dede, a member of the Action Alliance, challenged the clause in court. He named the federal government, in the person of the Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, as one of the respondents. But on behalf of the federal government, Malami declined to contest the suit and instead stated that the federal government agrees with Edede. Now, of course, it makes sense, right? When you remember that Malami's boss, the president, has already said that he's against the clause. But you also have the question of whether Malami had a conflict of interest here. After all, Malami, as Attorney General and Justice Minister, is a political appointee. That means that he is directly affected by this clause. If in the next few weeks Malami were to declare himself or declare his interest in running for office, would this mean that his official decision to stop the government from challenging this lawsuit benefited him personally and politically? Meanwhile, the PDP has attacked the government. They've criticized the case and the judgment. They're threatening to report Justice Anyadike to the Judicial Services Commission and AGF Malami to the Nigerian Bar Association. They're saying that Malami violated his duty to defend the Constitution by declining to make a defense in this case. They're also asking why Malami was the only respondent in the case. Why wasn't the National Assembly, who made the law, and INEC, who will implement the law, why were they not joined in the suit? They're also questioning how the case was filed, how it was heard, how it was ruled upon in less than 1 month. So there's a lot going on there. I want to hear your thoughts, and then we'll look at the court's ruling itself. 01465 7190. 01465 7190. That's for women. For men, 0700 993 993 993. 01 465 7190 for women. For men, 0700 993 993. What do you think so far about this first story from the weekend? Like I said, we're going to look directly into the court's ruling itself, and what exactly they said. But I want to hear your thoughts first, then we'll keep going. 99.3, hello. Thanks for calling. What's your name?
My name is Ufoma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ufoma. Welcome. Go ahead.
Please, let me just, before I respond to the question, is this your Adecta Diva? Is it on your normal TV station? Are they showing it all on DSTV or Go TV?
It's showing on DSTV, Go TV, Star Times, and Normal TV.
Oh, because I tried to look at it last year for my son. It did not show at all. They are not doing it. So
from 5 p.m.?
Really, yes, because I even asked him to go. Okay, it's 5 p.m. They are going to show it.
5 p.m., yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Based back on the issue, Malami looks so controversial, truly. There was a lawyer with me last week, and we are just discussing the issue of Malami. The way he described the man, just close the chapter. Most of the people this president have appointed, they are another year or year. What Malami is supposed to defend, it will not even defend it to the benefit of the other people. So to me, Malami is not there at all. So
Malami is not there at all, he says. All right. Thank you very much for calling. You have a wonderful day as well. 01465 7190 for men, 0700 993 993 993 for men. Sorry, 01465 7190 is for women. Hello, thanks for calling. Hello.
Hello?
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Imagine that time.
Hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
Thanks for calling. What's your name, sir?
How are you? I'm Solomon from Ikoyi.
Solomon, welcome. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right. What do you think?
Concerning this bill, this effort to Malami, no one else. Malami is having interest to contest the office of the governorship in the KB state. So he's the one running and doing all this Kalabudo of things. So it's because of him. No one again. It's Malami, about Malami interest. That is my submission.
All right.
Thank
you for submitting it, Solomon. Okay, let's look at the court's ruling itself, right, before we go further. Federal High Court Justice Evelyn Anyadike called the clause, quote, unconstitutional, invalid, illegal, null and void, and of no effect whatsoever, end quote. Specifically, she rested her judgment on sections 66, 107, 137, and 182 of the Constitution. Those sections say that political appointees who want to run for office must resign 30 days before the election. Justice Anyadike therefore said that any other law that requires appointees to resign at any time before the 30 days was unconstitutional. But you see, when I read those sections of the Constitution this weekend, I kept asking myself one question. Isn't the Constitution merely saying that the person must resign at least 30 days before the election? Is the Constitution actually ruling out a longer time limit? Because it said at least. So I had that question ringing in my head over and over and over. So I then asked a couple of lawyers about this, and here's what one of them said, quote, the starting point here is to ask, what is the mischief that this constitutional provision is attempting to address? I read it as trying to ensure that political appointees do not stay in their jobs when an election in which they are standing is about to take place. I assume that this is to ensure that they do not use public resources to fight the election. Now, regarding the 30 days provision, to my mind, it is more of a concession. Basically saying, we expect you to resign as soon as possible, but should in case you choose not to do so immediately, shall be gone no later than 30 days before the election. You cannot exceed that deadline in your office. So the lawyer went on to say, so yes, it gives room for another law to mandate that the candidate actually step down before that deadline. All that Constitution provision does is that it does not allow a candidate to stay in the post once it is 30 days to the election. It draws the line at that point. It is not conferring a right on a candidate to stay in post up to that date. Rather, it prohibits a candidate from staying in post after that date. So in my view, the lawyer is saying this, not me. In my view, the judgment has used the constitutional provision to do the opposite of what it was put there for. It was put there to prevent people staying in office when the election was less than 30 days away. However, it is being interpreted here to say that they cannot be asked to step down earlier than the 30-day mark, end quote. That's what a lawyer said to me. Now, for the lawyers who are listening, do you agree? Do you agree with this interpretation of the 30-day limit in the Constitution? Does it simply mean at least 30 days? And does that give room for laws and party rules to set a resignation deadline that is earlier than 30 days? And if so, do you agree or disagree that the judgment has created a right for political appointees that doesn't actually exist in the Constitution? And then for everyone else, non-lawyers included, do you agree or disagree that political appointees should not be allowed to run for office while holding their jobs? 01465 for women. Men 0700 993 993. We have Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm not sure we have WhatsApp, but I'll check. If we do, I'll let you send me messages there. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. You can tweet at us as well. Tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM. That's Twitter, at Nigeria Info FM. We have more people who are sending us messages as well. We'll take a look at those messages in a bit. But first, let's talk to Etim. Hi, Etim.
I'm fine. And you?
I'm very well. Welcome.
This provision, 8412, it's again the
8410.
Yeah. It's again the Constitution. The Constitution says 30 days.
Okay.
Since the National Assembly did not amend that section in the Constitution, so they cannot include it in the Electoral Act. Okay. They will first and foremost amend that section in the Constitution before they will translate it into the Electoral Act. I watched Mike Ozokeme. He heard the judgment of the court, of the High Court judge from Abia State. He aligned himself with that judgment. So if they are targeting Malami and Amechi because the hand officer from River State is also in it, they are just wasting their time. Even though if you resign, if the president, if there is the good boost of the Mr. President, you will still go about with the federal processor, the federal apparatus, the security and the cars and whatever. Do you think that if Amici want to contest, the director of NEMASA and the MPA, they will not release vehicles or in the agency to him, or they will not sponsor his political ambition? Because he recommended the appointment. So all this one is just a waste of time. Even the National Assembly, they are doing it for their selfish reasons. Some of them, in the future, they will become governor. What they did not want governors to do to them, they will also do it to them, or to other people. Thank you very much.
All right, Etim, thank you very much for calling. Etim says, well, whether they're in office until 30 days before or they're in office until, 60 days before, it doesn't matter. Their power is their power anyway. All right, we'll see how that goes. 99.3. Hello, thanks for calling.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
My name is Chief George from Agbado.
Welcome, Chief George. What do you think?
I want us to look at it from the angle of what the real Constitution states.
Okay.
It refers generally to the civil servants, if you read it very well. And we are talking of political appointees. The law, Electoral Act, is signed and delivered. It's only process of changing that act that can work, not just any judge coming in to give that type of judgment. Thank you.
All right, Chief George, thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Let me see if I have WhatsApp. If I have WhatsApp, then you can message me. I do not have WhatsApp, it appears, so please send your messages to me on Facebook. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. Tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM. If you just joined the show, our first story is the Federal High Court in Umahia saying that political appointees, that particular political appointees clause in the Electoral Act is illegal. Section 8410 of the newly amended Electoral Act. The judge, the High Court in Umahia, the Federal High Court in Umahia says that clause is illegal because that clause says no political appointees at any level shall be a voting delegate or be voted for at the convention or congress of any political party for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election. And I explained to you that means simply that ministers, commissioners, heads of parastatals cannot stand in party primaries, cannot be delegates at party primaries. The president wanted the National Assembly to remove that clause. National Assembly said, that's not going to work for us, brother. And it went to court. Someone from the Action Alliance, Nduka Edede, took it to court, challenged it. He named the federal government in the person of Attorney General Abubakar Malami as one of the respondents. But on behalf of the federal government, Malami said, no, don't worry, we're not contesting this. We agree with you. Go ahead, you have our blessings. And, the judge agreed with Edede that, it's unconstitutional, it's invalid, it's illegal, it's null, void, of no effect whatsoever. and she rested her judgment, the judge of the Federal High Court in Umahia, she rested her judgment on sections 66, 107, 137, and 182 of the Constitution. Now, since she's done that, the PDP has criticized the judgment. They are threatening to report Justice Anyadike to the Judicial Services Commission, AGF Malami to the Nigerian Bar Association. They're saying that Malami violated his duty to defend the Constitution by declining to make a defense in the case. They're also asking why Malami was the only respondent in the case. Why wasn't the National Assembly, who made the law, and INEC, who will implement the law, why were they not joined in the suit? They're also questioning how this thing was filed, heard, ruled upon in less than 1 month. It's amazing how our justice system can work very fast when it wants to work very fast, and other times it will take years and years and years for judgments to be heard. But yeah, what do you think of this story? Like I told you, I spoke with a lawyer over the weekend, and the lawyer said that this interpretation, simply means at least 30 days, that the ruling is misinterpreting what the Constitution says. And I'm asking other lawyers who are listening if they agree with, my lawyer friend. Do they agree that this interpretation, simply means this interpretation of the Federal High Court goes against what the Constitution means when it says 30-day limit? Does that give room for laws and party rules to set a resignation deadline that is earlier than 30 days? Do you agree or disagree with the judgment that has, that this judgment has created a right for political appointees that doesn't actually exist in the Constitution? Facebook, Nigeria Info, 99.3. So we've got a few seconds before we have to take a break, which means I can't take calls right now, but not to worry. I can. Let's see. Oh, actually, I can't take calls. So let me take one call before I take this break. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Agwoma.
Agwoma, good to have you on
I'm
the
calling
show.
from Bagada, yeah. I just want to know, is it not on the instance of any other person to appeal? Must it have to be Malami, or can't any other citizen appeal the judgment?
I honestly do not know. I'll have to ask lawyers.
So that's what we need to know, so that or we go to Supreme Court for full interpretation of that section. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. All right, if lawyers who are listening, they can let us know if anybody can appeal, or if it's going to be up to those who are named in the case to appeal. But if the federal government is not even contesting it, who's going to appeal it? 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
My name is Anthony from Ikeja.
Anthony from Ikeja, welcome.
Okay. Please, I really want to make my submission very quick.
Okay.
One, this issue of shopping for judgment concerning those in political office and those that are political appointees is just time wasting. The Constitution has made it so explicit that if you were a political appointee, it is honorable for you to resign. You cannot remain in the paraphernalia of office and be using it to intimidate others because you want to vie the same office. Start as a fresh and as a neutral body to enable you contest for the same position. So when somebody went to court, PDP went to court concerning the removal of the clause 82, 84 or thereabout, at the end of the day, they came to the National Assembly. The National Assembly said that no other arm of government has any right to step into their own. So what right do they also have now to go back to court to go and say they want to express their rights? Please, Nigerians should know that we are just playing with the integrity of this nation. May God help us in this country. Bye-bye.
Right. Thank you very much for calling, Anthony. Let's take a break. When we come back, let's move to our second story from the weekend. EFCC arrests Obiano. What did you think of that story when it broke? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. You're listening to The Big Weekend on Hard Facts.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. with Sheriff Quadri.
Venue, Sandra.
The Anti-Corruption Agency grabbed the ex-Anambra governor just hours after he handed over to his successor, Chukwuma Soludo. They got him at the international airport here in Lagos, reportedly on his way to the USA. Now, the EFCC is telling us why. They say that they are investigating Obiano for at least 2 allegations of diverted government funds while he was governor, 5 billion naira in Sure P money, and 37 billion naira security vote, which they allege was withdrawn in cash. The FCC has confirmed that Obiano is now at their headquarters in Abuja. So we're going to be monitoring this story and bringing you the latest developments in the investigation. We'll also tell you what's happening with his custody, if it gets to that point, charges, trial. We'll talk about all of that. But right now, I want to know what you think. Do you think that the EFCC should take this approach with governors in general? Because governors are immune from prosecution. But what the EFCC seems to have done here is investigate Obiano, then wait for the moment his immunity expired to arrest him. Do you believe that if the EFCC sticks to this strategy, they'll end up arresting more ex-governors, more ex-deputies, and more ex-presidents and vice presidents? Do you think that will lead to more convictions of former executives? What do you think it does for our fight against corruption? 0700-993-993 993 0700-993-993. You can also share your thoughts via Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We've got Baba G on the line. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, Sandra, the president, I greet you.
I greet you too, sir.
Yeah, I'm waiting for 4 o'clock. I know today is going to be on fire. So the students, yeah. Quickly, let me talk about the Obiano. I see no reason why you handed over the same day you are traveling out. If I were Obiano, I will stay for 1 week or 2 weeks, honestly.
Okay.
That is 1. 2, if he's found culpable, probably if he had embezzled the money of Anambra State, why not? But there is something I don't understand about this government. You will tell me. 2015, I think APC governors, are they up to 20 or 18? 2019, the same thing. And I can mention many of them when they left. They didn't invite them for questioning. We are Rebeshola, we have Ameshi, so many of them. And I remember vividly, Wike was crying bitterly that he had submitted petition for EFCC. He even brought out the petition. They didn't answer Wike. But the followers will tell you the apologies that there are 2 or 3, in the prison. And I remember 1 or 2 of them, they decamp from PDP to APC. If they can be able to, once you are a governor, if you left office because of the immunity, they will call you for questioning. Is he only the opposition? What about the former governor of Edo State? There were petitions, the former chairman of APC. Nobody is talking about that. I can see maybe the EFCC is wish hunting. If you ask me, maybe the apologies will not agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it, Baba G. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're calling our line for women, sir. Sorry about that. 99.3. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello, good afternoon.
Auntie Sandra.
Sir?
Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
This is Mr. Fan, the Vice President of FASFAS.
Good to have you on the show, sir.
I like this idea of arresting these governors because they are taking us for granted.
Okay.
This man was not here in Nigeria. He came back and they handed him over Anambra State to be the governor. He ruled governor for 8 good years. He entered into handover. 30 minutes after handover. That means he has already packed his bag. Leaving the hall, he went back to his house and carried his bag straight to the airport. If you think that you rule this state very well, why not step back at least for some time and enjoy what you did in that state? Then you come here, you pack our money here, you want to go to abroad to enjoy. It's not only him. You see the ministers, the deputy, the secretary, the finance, that all of them that's involved. Because it's not only he cannot go to the state fund and withdraw money. All of them that's involved should be arrested. It's not only in that area, but anywhere they are. That day they are doing handover. Because they are immune. That day the EFCC should go and arrest anybody and collect our money so that we have money. Because they say Nigeria doesn't have money. We have money. Even the president himself, any day now, next year now, when he's handing over, we should hope that let him tell us all this Abacha loot and all this money we have been borrowing. He has to give account of it. That is how it's supposed to be in this country. Even if it has not been happening before. A journey of 1,000 miles starts from a day. From a step. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you.
We have started it with Obiano. Then the next follows.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. That was a really long call. We'll take one more call and then we'll move on to the Lekki-Ikoyi Bridge story. They're going to start tolling that place from April 1. Chike is on the line. Hi, Chike.
My dear, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my dear. What's your good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Sandra, haven't you resumed?
Haven't I resumed?
That's why you are part of the Disoludo administration. I wonder why. Is it about?
No, I put the bem. No chance can jelo that one. Okay. Nabia.
No, okay. What I'm trying to say is this. Anybody that works under General Muhammad Buhari.
Turn your radio off then, go ahead.
That worked on him, both Buhari himself, as soon as they are handing over, all of them should be rounded up and be arrested. They have destroyed this country.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for calling. On April 1st, the LCC will start collecting tolls on Lekki-Ikoyi Bridge again. Many Lagosians don't like this idea for so many reasons. Some don't want the traffic that the toll gate will bring back. Some feel it's a slap in the face to the protesters whom soldiers shot and killed at the Lekki toll gate on October 20th, 2020. We heard this from Banky W, for example. And others are uncomfortable with what they see as a lack of transparency about the LCC's finances and where that toll money is going to, right? So on Friday's Daily Digest, Jimmy Disu spoke to Benga Motosho, the Information Commissioner, about how the resumption of tolling is meant to work. And here's how that conversation went.
Thank you for that they're going to start tolling the Ikoyi Link Bridge, which in itself was built, correct me if I'm wrong, as an alternate route, to ease traffic. Let me quickly state here that in principle, I'm picking my words carefully, so if you're going to quote me, I might not mind for as long as nobody tells me that they're going to toll that major road here. That, of course, would be completely unacceptable. But Mr. Othman wrote a letter to the governor. What did you say in the letter?
Well, Okujibi, good morning. Thank you for the courtesy and invitation. Justification. You don't come out and tell people, I met with this, I met with this. Having met with people, it is also standard practice. What was the communique? Who did you meet with? If we decided to have a meeting now, radio, net.
Okay, that's convenient. But he seems critical of your position. But can we hear your position again on the toll gate issue? The tolling of that is the tolling of the Ikoyi Lekki axis.
Okay, well, my view is very simple. First, I would like to thank all the stakeholders that Lekki Concession Company has met with for showing understanding. I also thank those who are criticizing the idea of tolling that road. They have their right to so do. But I would like all of us to think about the logic of returning tolling to that road. The Lekki Concession Company, that road was built at about 44.1 billion, 44.9 billion. And I would like people to just take their minds back to those days when the road was what it was. Portal reading, about 2 lanes, so rough and all of that. And then the government went to raise money to build the road. As of today, Lekki Concession Company is showing about 11.6 billion naira to local lenders, local bankers, as all of us know, and international lenders, including African Development Bank. They are being owed $31.1 million. So apart from that, there are 500 workers, at least 500 workers working in that place. Most of them are young people with young families. For 18 months, they have not had a cover. Some of them have earned half salary. But they need to return to their job so that they can get back to their normal life. And then all of the things that Lekki Concession Company has been doing on that road, security-wise, whenever any vehicle breaks down, they rush in there to take the vehicle out, restoration of all the damaged traffic lamps on the road, and then emergencies. If anything happens there, they send in ambulances, and all of the things that they are doing there, which are just services that they never stopped during the 18 months that they've not been able to collect toll there. So it is good for us to say, well, it's our right to enjoy the road, it's our right to have it free of charge and all of that. It is normal.
Okay, but what about the logistics and the inconvenience? You see, once we're thinking of the 500 people who are employed, maybe they are close to, I'm just exaggerating, the 500 million will not up to that one, but just there are thousands of people who are also affected by the logistics. Mr. Uthman has been able to talk, for example, about the perennial gridlock you have in that area that goes far into the night till after 12 midnight because of this tolling. Maybe in the first instance it shouldn't even have been done logistically. Maybe from the design, from the moment of design, it should have been placed in some other part. Maybe, but as we are now, part of his own argument, apart from the money involved, that distorts so many families, is also the fact of the logistics of it. That, look, tolling there brings perennial traffic to that environment. We should think about that too, don't you think, Honorable Commissioner?
They are very, very right, sir.
Yes.
But the LCC, Lekki Concession Company, has done a lot of things to look at this. They are now more experienced than they used to be. Number one, I can assure everybody that when they return to that road, they are not going to start tolling immediately. There's going to be a kind of test run that all of us will see. And then number two, when they start tolling, whenever there is a build-up, they open the place. They won't issue tickets anymore.
Is that a condition that has been given to them that we can test?
Yes, those are some of the tactics they are trying to employ, so that people don't just sit down there and get congested. And then there are better equipment now. The kind of equipment that we ensure that passage is not blocked in that place. That you spend seconds there, not a minute. But can
you tell us? Lagos is listening now. Can you tell us what kind of equipment and what the equipment would do? Because before, what you had was, if you had a card, you would stop and put your card up, and then you would move on. So this equipment that you are talking about, does it spot you a mile away and just keeps it open and you keep flowing, or what?
You are right, sir. It spots you faster. That is why people will be encouraged, especially if you use that road frequently, to have this thing that can be installed in their vehicles by staff of LCC. So that's
all right. So you can listen to the rest of that interview on our website, nigeriainfo.fm. But I think we can try and unpack that interview in bits and pieces, right? So first of all, let's talk about this idea of a 2-week test run. Do you think LCC and the public can find out anything about traffic at the toll gate that we don't already know? Do you think that LCC and the public can find out anything about traffic at the toll gate that we don't already know? Jimmy raised a very important point. He said that at the toll plaza on the bridge, there's nowhere for a car to move aside. So if the car that's at a toll gate cannot pay, there's no way to get them out of the queue for others to pass. And as long as that is not the case, are we not bound to have traffic at the toll gate if tolls are being collected, no matter what we do? So that's number one. Think about your response to that. And then let me add this to what you should think about. Let's talk about toll collection itself. We have been told by the state government and the LCC that the state government bought out the LCC's private owners in 2014. I got a confirmation about that from the LCC MD, Mr. Yomi Omama-Osan himself, when he was on this show 1 year ago. So now the only reason they are collecting tolls at the plaza is to pay off the loans they collected to build the roads. And now you've heard from the Commissioner of Information that the total loan value is 11 billion naira in local debt. Let's round that up to 12 billion. And $31 million in foreign debt. Let's convert that to naira. That's about 18 billion naira. So a total of 30 billion naira. Now, they are saying that you and I are going to help government pay back that remaining 30 billion naira with our toll payments. Okay, fine. So that means that once those loans are paid off, government doesn't need to keep tolling us, right? I mean, LCC no longer has private owners who need a profit. If it's now wholly owned by government, government shouldn't expect to make a profit on the heads of citizens after we have paid off the loans. Yes? Okay. So that being said, doesn't that mean that going forward, Lagosians should be aware of how much money is collected every month at the toll gate? How much LCC spends every month in overhead and operating costs? How much of the remaining revenue each month was paid to creditors? And update each month of what the loan balance is. Isn't this the best way to ensure that going forward, toll collection doesn't become a way for the LCC or the state government to enrich themselves at the expense of toll-paying road users? Last year, when I interviewed the LCC MD, he couldn't give me a figure for how much money the toll gates generate every month. If tolling is to return, Do you believe that going forward, such an answer should be acceptable from the LCC or from the state government? And finally, do you believe the toll plazas should reopen at all? The plazas stopped operating during the NSAS protests, which ended the day, according to the Lagos NSAS panel report. Soldiers and police shot and killed protesters at the Lekki toll gate. So given that history, is there a case for the toll plazas to remain closed out of respect for the dead? There's a lot to think about, a lot to talk about. Talk to me. 0700-993-993-993. Do you think that LCC and the public can find out anything about traffic at that toll gate that we don't already know? If tolling resumes, will the LCC and the Lagos state government agree to providing total transparency about the revenue at the toll gate and how it's being spent to repay the loans? And do you think that the toll plazas should reopen? We've got Alaba on the line. Welcome.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show.
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you on the show.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sandra.
All right. Looks like he can't hear me. Let's try somebody else. 99.3.
Hello.
Hello. Turn your radio off. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is JBC.
Good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. It really baffles me when the commissioner will know how much they are owing the foreign debt, in local debt, how many people are working there, and everything. But you ask him how much are they collecting in a month, in a day, he will not answer. Well, he knows everything. He knows the debt from foreign debt, from local debt, how many people, how they have family, and all that. But he will never answer how much they are making in a day, in a month. How much are they paid? It baffles me, seriously. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show. What's your name?
My name is Abayomi, calling from Ogun State.
Abayomi, you're calling our number for women. 0700-993-993-993. That's your number. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you? My name is Rosemary. I'm calling from Lekki.
Rosemary, what do you think should happen here?
I want to put the emotions aside with regards to the killing of people and NSAS and all that.
Right.
I first of all think that the toll gate is prejudiced.
Okay.
In the sense that as we speak, Lagos is a construction site.
Okay.
The whole of Lagos, all the roads are being constructed, being built.
Right.
And those roads are not being tolled. So why are you tolling Lekki roads?
Right.
If you fix them, why should you toll them? And then I pay my taxes. What is the government's responsibility towards me?
Right.
So I think it's just so much prejudice, and people just want to take from people they think cannot make trouble. And I think it's unfair. Honestly, I think it's unfair. And then you create a toll gate of 12 toll gates, but into a 4-lane road. There would definitely be bottleneck. It's a bottleneck you've created. So that the traffic you open up, excuse me, do a research, put people there and let's see how far it goes. I just think it's unfair, honestly.
Rosemary, thank you very much for calling. Unfortunately, that's all we can take with that story, but we'll revisit it, yes? We'll keep revisiting this story until the reopening on April 1, and we'll keep taking your thoughts on whether or not it should even be open to begin with. Up next, a debate between Deborah Pamzat and Ramadan Olamilekun Oladipupo. He'll be joining us, and they'll be discussing import bans. That's what they'll be debating from 4 o'clock. Import bans, do they harm Nigeria's economy? I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.